Yo, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lionheart. Today we're going to be going over a must-have utility guide for Ancient. Now, the last time that I played Counter-Strike consistently, Ancient wasn't even in the goddamn game. So when I came back to get ready for CS2 and I saw two new maps I'd never seen before in Ancient and Anubis, I was of course scared like many of you are, because I fear change. Change is scary. So I didn't play Ancient or Anubis at all. But now, with the introduction of Premier Mode, you pretty much need to be able to play all of the maps in the pool, because just by the very nature of how pick ban systems work, there are going to be situations, even if they're rare, where you're going to be playing maps outside of your comfort zone. So it's important to be varied and knowledgeable of basic setups and advanced setups on pretty much all the maps at any given time. But don't fear, those of you like me who only have one active brain cell at any given time, Ancient is a very simple map, so we don't have to get too complicated here. We're going to show you some basic setups for both the bomb sites as well as how to play around defaults. And with this forbidden knowledge, you too shall never lose another game again, 100% guaranteed, or you get your money back. We here in Lionheart Incorporated LLC cannot guarantee, protect, or enshrine any rank points gained or lost in the deployment of the strategies found within this video. By watching this video, you agree that by deploying the strats found wherein, you take on the responsibility of whatever outcomes may come. Just because you use the smokes, flash, and Molotovs in this video does not guarantee you won't get domed by the guy with the private account and my profile picture in 0 hours in Counter-Strike. Please use responsibly. Alright, first things first, let's talk about defaulting, otherwise known as my team doesn't know how to execute on bomb sites, so we must play pigs for the 47th round in a row. My god, someone please help me. We've all been there, we have to play default sometimes, so it's important to have utility that you're going to use in rounds where you're not going to have a dedicated setup towards one side of the map or not. And on Ancient, the best thing to do is to take mid control. So we're going to start off with this mid smoke lineup. From spawn, what you're going to do is line up on the giant pillar in front of you in T-spawn, then look up to the ruins above you. And if you look very closely, what you're going to find there is the subscribe button that many of you have not clicked yet. So take a second, sub to the channel if you haven't, click the like button as well, and leave a comment to help with the YouTube algorithm as it helps immensely. And let's get back to the actual lineup. So once again, you're going to line up with your left shoulder on this pillar in T-spawn. It doesn't have to be super precise, but just kind of have like half yourself sticking out to the right side. You're going to aim up to the ruins above you, and what you're looking for is this window right here. You're going to aim at the pillar to the right of it, and then it's a simple jump throw. This bad boy is going to sail all the way over and land gently into the mid doorway, blocking off mid completely from the CT perspective, allowing you to push out, take mid control, clear cubby, and work your way towards the donuts. This is great for taking early map control. It can help you to split either to B or A, and it's a fantastic option for those rounds where you don't want to dedicate to a site hit immediately out the gate. Extra bonus tip for when you're going for this mid take: just before you get to mid, before you round the corner, look up and throw this flashbang above these two boards to pop flash all of the main angles heading out of mid. The only angle that does not get flashed is players playing super deep in donut. But if they're cubby, if they're out in mid in general, if they're near mid door, they are getting totally blinded, and you will not blind your teammates as they swing, which is a nice bonus. And that's cool and all, but defaults will only get you so far. So let's look at the bomb sites to see what we could do to get some great site takes and plants down. Firstly, let's look at the B site. One thing we're going to be taking advantage of here is that CS2 has opened up how we approach setups entirely with the addition of being able to drop grenades. Now, as many times as we can, if we can find a spot where you can throw multiple grenades from one setup location, that is actually ideal, because you can just have your teammates drop you those grenades, and then one person can throw the setup while everyone else sets up to actually burst onto the bomb site. No longer is it absolutely necessary to have these complicated 3-4 man setups where everyone's holding a different lineup, waiting to throw at the same time. So what we're going to do here is, just before the double doors heading towards B site, you're going to line up in this back corner. The first smoke we're going to be throwing is to block off the right side of B site. You're going to aim up, and we're going to be lining up with our left thumb onto the ruins in front of us. What you're going to be looking for here is to look on screen here and line up the edge of your thumb so that it just crosses over this crack in the wall. It's also kind of matching up with these leaves just in the foreground. Again, this takes a little bit of practice, but once you see it a few times, you'll know what I'm looking at. Once again, the thumb is going to line up just over the crack, and once it's there, it's a simple left-click throw. We're going to immediately follow that up with another throw for the left side of the site. We're going to be lining up at the bottom of this corner here in the ruins, and then doing another jump throw. These smokes will land roughly at the same time, blocking off the two main corridors that CTs like to hold, and with a cave split from your teammates, effectively makes the CTs have to either push through the smokes to contest, or play for retakes. So this is a great setup for when you have the full buy, you want to just do the full execute, the full Monty, all in on the B site. But rounds can be scrappy, so sometimes you need to fall back on backup plans. So let's say you can't get 2 smokes, or you're on an eco or a half buy, you still want to execute onto the B site. Well, we can do this 1 smoke setup to push caves and then push CT on aggressive play. So what you're going to do here is out front of the caves, you're going to look back towards T-spawn and line up in this corner. You're then going to look up towards the B site. This little pillar is going to be sticking out in front of you. You're going to aim to the top of this pillar, left click, and throw the grenade. You can then follow it up with this little Molotov bouncing off of the wall to land in front of the pillar. And then you guys are going to push cave with Happy Abandon. On the cave push here, you're looking to play fast, get into CT spawn, catch people off guard. This is like pistols, submachine guns, shotguns, Galeals, you're low buying. The right side of the site can't fight you because of the smoke. You get that kill on the player CT, you clear the site, you get the plant, and you move on. This is great for a fast hit or a rotate or a late B site play. Keep this one in your back pocket. So that's defaults, that's the B side covered. Now what the hell are you going to do when you go A? Now A poses a lot of problems from a setup standpoint. This is a very narrow closed off bomb site, and because of the nature of how Ancient has been designed, all of the surrounding buildings are tall as fuck. Meaning that finding great setups can be pretty difficult. It also limits how many smokes you can realistically throw before take. That being said, we did find some nice stuff here. I actually got in the lab and developed this smoke myself. The other smoke, I don't know the origin point, but was shown to me by my buddy Furley. So starting first, we're just going for the straight up A long take here. What you're going to want to do is from spawn, you're going to be heading towards the staircase into A long. You're going to jump onto the side banister of the staircase and sit on the bottom of it. Aiming up towards the trees, you're looking for this very top gap in the leaves. We're aiming the left side of this gap and jump throw. This smoke is going to beautifully sail over the top of the ruins and land in the CT corridor of A site. Now to follow that up and help your teammates actually get out onto the site, we're going to throw a pop flash from inside of the A corridor. What you're going to do here is line up at the bottom of this tile with like the blue chips on it. You're going to land on the bottom left corner, look up above you to the entrance in the roof, and we're aiming about a third of the way up. It doesn't have to be too high. You can throw it a little bit higher than where I'm aiming, a little bit lower, but just don't be too low. Roughly aim where I am. You get in the lab, you practice a few times, you're going to know what I'm looking at here. This is a simple left click throw with the flashbang, and this is going to pop flash people playing towards the back side of the A site. Now keep in mind, if people are hugging the box that I'm standing behind, they will not be flashed by this. Likewise, if they are deep in the A connector, they will also not be flashed. However, if they're standing out a little bit, they can be. You just have to keep these things in mind when you're pushing out. Now you've cleared back site, you're ready to swing the rest of the site. I would recommend throwing a Molotov over the planter box to land behind default. A lot of players like to stand behind there to hold the A site take, molly them out, they are flushed out and you can take care of them. Likewise, you could throw a grenade before you even peek A long that lands on top of the planter to get anyone camping up there. It's a great grenade to throw. If you see people playing there frequently, it'll do about half damage, but you don't have to throw it every time, it's just giving you the option. Another great smoke to have on hand is the smoke to take out Roundabout. Roundabout's obviously a great CT power position to both hold mid and A, and this one locks them off from holding the A site during the take, but also gives you some great options when taking mid. So the first thing you're going to do here is from spawn, you're going to head towards the A site until you get to this big building here in the middle. You're going to line up with your left shoulder into the corner like so on screen. You're then going to look up at the big ruins heading towards the A site. You're going to crouch and aim your crosser at the top of this bottom window. You're going to then stand up and then jump throw. The reason that we crouch to line this up and staying up is that there's no real marker in between the two windows for us to aim at. By crouching and lining up at the top of the window, it gives us a consistent point to line up every single time so that the smoke hits. Once you jump, throw, and release, that smoke is going to sail forever, clip through the top of the ruins, and drop down gently to land in the Roundabout entrance going towards A. This also blocks off the right side of Roundabout when looking towards mid from the T perspective, which is a very common hold for CTs to hold for mid control. This forces CTs to either push to the A site, or play on the opposite side of Roundabout where they can't as easily watch mid, both of which are very advantageous for the T side when pushing for mid control, or when pushing to play A together. And honestly, that's about it. This is a pretty straightforward guide, nothing too complicated. The reality is that Ancient is a very, very simple map, It seems like Valve went out of their way with Ancient and Anubis to make a small, compact map that's a lot about taking proactive engagements and not so much about waiting around for utility to clear. It goes very well with the utility changes in CS2 as well, being able to blow open smokes with grenades, smokes taking up huge areas, etc. So my advice to you would be to play these maps a lot similar to Dust 2. Play for contact, play for initiative, play around pop flashes and quick takes. Don't necessarily worry about having defined setups for every single site and every single scenario. Most of the time, just throwing 1 or 2 smokes and then playing for the trades is going to be the most effective way to play your T sides. But these lineups do help, they do make things easier, so make sure you learn them and use them in your games. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more, leave a comment down below, and make sure you catch me live on Twitch around 8 to 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every night. Other than that, my name is Lionhearts, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video.